It's already mid-autumn now. The last time I uploaded a longer video on my channel, it was late spring. I shot all the material and chose the topic for my next film. It should be about being productive and motivated in spring. A week later, I had finished editing. All that was left to do was to write the script. During this period, I started to follow the news more regularly and watched a lot of videos concerning the unstoppable climate change if we keep continuing our excessive lifestyle as a society. The news were filled with reports about war and destruction in every corner of our world. My Instagram feed was overflowing with reels about exploiting or doing wrong to other people and living beings. I found myself wondering more and more how we humans could evolve into such a species of self-destructive beings who in the long run deprive themselves and others of their basis of life. How could it come this far? Do we never learn? Or are we just very good at ignoring what does not directly affect us? I want to keep my channel lighthearted and carefree, but the current situation in our world is weighing heavily on me. It weighs on me so much that uploading videos has felt insignificant during these past months. How can we thrive in a world that is burning? Let me go back in time a little and explain in more detail why this whole issue has been on my mind so much in the recent months. As the world came back to life, so did I. I watched this rhythm within myself repeating year after year. All the plants blossoming, all the insects and birds showing up again, and all the green coming back to the lands. All of this awakens something in me. I feel so lighthearted and motivated. It's just like, deep within us we are still one with nature. I prepared my garden for the upcoming season, cut back grasses and pruned trees and bushes. I had plans to plant vegetable patches. My boyfriend and I even bought raised beds. However, we were so late with sowing the seeds that we decided to try it next year. Nevertheless, we bought a tomato and melon seedling and planted it in our existing bed and in a pot. My sister also gifted me a gooseberry bush. This one I planted in our lawn, next to the red currants. However, at the end of summer it shed all its leaves, so I don't know if it will survive. We'll find out next spring, I guess. During spring I've been outside a lot. I enjoyed feeling the sun on my skin after the long cold and smelling the sweet scent of flowers in the air. As the weeks went by and I increasingly exposed myself to the terrible events happening on this planet, I withdrew more and more inside my house. I started playing video games more frequently because it felt like an escape from the inevitable, but at the same time it didn't. Don't get me wrong, I'm aware that terrible things will always happen in this world, and there's nothing I can do about it. Normally I'm able to shield myself from this better, but lately I've been more and more shocked by what we humans are capable of. Just because something doesn't affect us at first glance and doesn't seem relevant to our own behavior, we can't simply turn a blind eye towards these matters. I do my best to contribute to a better world by behaving as sustainably and responsibly as for me possible, and I try not to intentionally harm other people or living beings, but there's always room for improvement. However, during the past months I felt like, no matter what you do, it makes no difference. Deep down I know that is not true, because even the tiniest changes can have a big impact. But in a situation where we are confronted with this flood of information about the state of our planet, it is easy to succumb to the idea that everything will end in inevitable destruction. I'm not the kind of person that would say, hey, I can change it, so I don't give a damn at all. In my opinion, compassion is one of the most valuable traits of being a human. It's just that this helplessness feels so frustrating and exhausting. How can I be happy when others struggle to keep alive? When people lose their homes and their loved ones? When the climate change proceeds so rapidly that the Earth is no longer able to recover, and being a climate refugee could become reality? When AI dominates the internet and mimics everything that makes us humans unique? In a world where greed and putting our needs above everything else is priority. In a system that supports the exploitation of humans and other beings for the sake of making profit. How can we be happy while knowing that all of this is the reality we live in? To be honest, sometimes I don't know. When striving for a better future seems irrelevant because the bigger picture will not change anyway. When we are already struggling with our own problems in our own little bubble. In human history, the same mistakes get repeated over and over again. The greed for power and possessions usually originates from individuals and is carried out at the expense of others. People are forced to fight these battles of power-hungry leaders, even though most of us just want to live a peaceful life. The irony of it all is that Earth provides us with everything we need: clean air to breathe, fresh water to drink, healthy soil to grow food. But there's always this greed for more. Why is there always this greed for more? There's enough food on this earth for everyone, yet people still starve. There is enough space on this earth for everyone, yet people find no place to live. There's enough knowledge among us humans, yet it is often not shared and reserved to the privileged. The government and the system want us to believe that progress and achievement are the only things worth striving for. And I have to agree that progress is important in order to bring about change, but not above everything else and under all circumstances, and certainly not in the way it is currently implemented. In order for change to come, we must first realize a fundamental truth within ourselves. What will we take with us when we leave this earth? It's not the big car or house we could afford. It's not the titles and degrees we've earned. It's the memories we've created on our journey. Possessions are just an illusion. All earthly belongings are left behind. Of course, we need a certain standard of living to make our lives comfortable, but on close inspection, this can be limited to a small selection of things. And so the weeks went by and turned into months. It just didn't feel right to post about my peaceful life, while all these horrors are allowed to endure. People tend to compare my other videos to my most viral one. The majority prefers these light-hearted videos about a peaceful world, but the topic I cover in this video is just as important to me as the peaceful content. So which side will be disappointed? Being absent from my channel felt like the right thing to do. This way, no one is disappointed, but at the same time, no one is satisfied either. I realized, to enjoy and honor the good things in life, you got to expose yourself to the difficult things as well. I can't put on blinds and meet everyone else's needs without including my own. In addition to all the beautiful aspects of life, I also want to address the not so beautiful things. I want to keep this channel authentic and real. That's why I decided to finally make this video. The Earth is the most valuable thing we have right now. It's our source of life. However, we are so good at deliberately destroying it. Isn't that depressing? These thoughts and observations are nothing new. The environmental movement began with the start of the industrialization, and yet not enough has changed today. The government does not take environmental protection seriously enough. There are always more important issues to deal with. But how can we survive without a healthy habitat? There's no life without an intact world. The search for habitat elsewhere is meaningless if we are not able to protect and prioritize our own. Can we humans not see that we are already living in paradise? That there's nothing better to come? While thinking about matters like these, I also often remember one of my favorite movies, WALL-E. For those who don't know, it's an animated movie about a little robot that tries to clean up the world after all humans have already left, because it's uninhabitable and there's no vegetation left. The humans are living on a self-sufficient spaceship instead, but continue to send robots back to Earth to see if new plants are growing and if it's possible to return. I don't want to spoil much more than necessary, but people are learning again how beautiful it was on Earth, and in particular how important plants and an intact environment are. It's like the great stories, Mr. Frodo. The ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't want to know the end, because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad has happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come. And when the sun shines, it'll shine out the clear. Those were the stories that stayed with you, that meant something, even if you were too small to understand why. But I think, Mr. Frodo, I do understand. I know now, folks in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't. They kept going because they were holding on to something. But there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo. And it's worth fighting for. That's a quote from the second Lord of the Rings movie, where Sam tries to comfort Frodo. One could say it's just a movie, but these words hold so much truth, and sometimes we need a little reminder to see that there's still a chance for change, even if the current situation seems hopeless. The focus of my channel is definitely set on the beauty of this world, but at the same time I will shed light on difficult topics, such as the one in this video. Facing difficult circumstances can be exhausting and uncomfortable, but it's also, and above all, an opportunity to appreciate all the beautiful things in life. After all these weeks, I had the realization again. My own thoughts and actions do change a lot, no matter how insignificant they seem in the first place. I realized for myself that uploading a video about a peaceful life can inspire others. Making a change is not insignificant, it's essential. And that's exactly what I want to achieve with my channel and my videos here on YouTube. I want to give hope that there's a better world, and that we are able to create it ourselves. A change in our own beliefs leads to actions. Actions inspire other people who start to rethink their behavior as well. And soon enough, out of one tiny change in thoughts, a global change follows. If we all act a little more attentive, the system will probably change as well. So let us choose a world where we cherish the traits of being human, like compassion and modesty, where kindness is key. Let us choose a world where we cherish doing things with our hands again, where art is made by humans and not machines. Let us choose a world of contentment instead of constant striving for the bigger and better. Let us choose a world where we stop putting ourselves first and be respectful and empathetic towards nature, other beings, and each other. Let us choose a world where we start to care again. Let us choose a better world.